Hello guys, today I'm going to be doing a review of Utawarerhono, Mask of Deception. I am sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Please put in the comments if I did pronounce that wrong. Anyways, specifically the launch edition, which, as you know, the launch edition for these games come with some extra stuff. Before we get into review, though, I will say I was trying to get the other version of this, Mask of Truth, but sadly, it was sold out everywhere I went, and I just couldn't find it, so I'm probably going to have to do a separate review for that later on. Anyways, until then, though, we have Mask of Deception, which I will begin the review for now. As you can see for the box art, we have Kuon on the front with some sort of talisman. Inside, there's nothing inside right now. There's just an empty slit. So you basically get double protection with the game, and on the front it of course says everything that's included. On the back, you get a list of all the different features. You have all the characters on the back, all the different dialogues, play style. And you actually get to decide. There are some decisions you get to make in this game, though I will say ahead of time, you do not, from what I can tell, have any decisions so far that I have been able to see that involve dialogue. You do have decisions, though, as far as the order in which you play out certain events. Now, course, the actual my bad, guys, I forgot to take out my DVD. It's currently in there, but essentially the DVD just has the same image that's on this box on it. There's no special exclusive DVD with this version of the game to be particular about, though it also comes with this art book, essentially, which has, of course, the glossary giving you all the introduction to the game. Feel free to pause if you want to read that. You have the main character, Ukon, not Haku. Kuon, who course is the person who looks after you for the most part. Rultai, I think, is her name, or Rutalia. It's hard. Nikon, she's mean. I'm gonna put it that way. In this game, she is very mean to you. Very abusive. I'll say that much. Ukon, guy who I mistaken for the main character for some reason. Essentially your typical samurai. Maroru, he is annoying as heck. This is Ashtor. Spoilers, he is Ukon, just with a mask. Kawaru, basically just this kid who you get later in the game who can join your team, who is an archer and actually deals a decent amount of damage. The two thief siblings you run into early on and they rob you. So, I actually haven't, the rest of these characters I actually haven't run into, so I'm sorry, I don't really have much to say. Okay, I have run into her. And she is very mean, because you actually run into her in the shopping district, and she basically just says you're ugly the entire time. I have not run into them yet. I've not run into them yet, but I really like their character art style, and I hope I can have them in my party in the game. I have not run into these two yet, though I have a feeling they're the two who were in the cloaks earlier on. This guy is the leader of the thieves you take down twice. And I must say, I am glad that he fell in a cesspool. That is not too big of a spoiler, though. And for those of you who don't know, a cesspool is basically just a puddle of poop. Then there's these two who I have not run into yet. Same thing with these two, I haven't run into them. Though this one looks like one of the thief siblings, so I'm guessing it's just one of their alter egos. I do not know who this is, though. I don't know who they are. These two I have also not run into, nor have I them. I have a feeling this guy might be the main character just with a separate identity, because he might become famous, and I have a feeling that it's what's going to happen to the main character, and this guy's right-hand man. Then character bios. Not character, but creature bios. Then you have just, like, how they made different scenes in the game. The Yamato Empire. More scenery art. Even more scenery art. So basically the rest of this thing is just full of scenery art. Though, and that's all you get in here. Now I'll talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is pretty straightforward. Your MMORPG type. You have a party. You can move them around in a 3D environment. You have healers, archers, magic casters, and melee. You start out with Haku and Kuon, who, out of the two, no matter how much I've evolved Haku so far, he's actually weak, so I don't suggest you use him too much for combat. Kuon is pretty strong at the beginning, but midway through the game, I will admit she starts to become more of a reliability than anything else, and begins to become nothing more than a glorified healer. And most of your party members will, at that point, be stronger than your original team. And before you ask, I have tried. You cannot replace anyone in a set team, nor can you keep anybody. It just is generated by the game due to the environment you are in at the moment. The story is pretty straightforward so far. You have some complicated aspects with the fact that your main character has amnesia, but otherwise it's pretty simple. You're trying to figure out who you are and making a name for yourself in the kingdom. And that's basically what the game is, and I haven't beaten it yet, so I couldn't spoil it even if I tried. So that's all I have to say about this game. I think it's really good, and you actually can pick it up for pretty cheap at any GameStop for only $30. So that's all I really have to say. So please like, comment, and or subscribe. Tell me any other games you would suggest to me. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. So I will see you all later. Thank you for watching.